Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth here with Club Divorcee, a place where we go from broken to blessed together. And today I am here with
Angela.
Thank you. And we have our Facebook Live going on right now, and we've tried to update some things. So hopefully you can hear us a little bit better today. And we also have our YouTube channel that it will be uploaded on. We do have several new subscribers, so we thank you for that. And if you are not on YouTube yet, please do so. We need a minimum of 50 in order to be able to start doing YouTube Live. We do have this uploaded on Spotify and Apple, so this podcast episode will also be uploaded on those as well. So thank you so much for joining us. And today's going to be a little different. Not only are we sitting in a office space, but we are actually at a little Mexican restaurant called Los Contoros in this little town of Sheridan. And it is a sweet little Mexican place owned by a mom and pop. So the food is awesome, the company is great, and they were so hospitable to us, and we're very appreciative of it. What's also going to be different today is the fact that we're not talking about a specific topic today. Instead, we are actually going to hear the story of our guest, Sam. So, Sam, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story and having the courage to come and share your story. So, tell us a little bit about you first. Where are you from? What do you do?
So I'm originally from Frankton, Indiana. Grew up on a farm family. Graduated from Hamilton Southeastern High School, as you may know.
Yes.
And I'm a road technician for a construction company. I work on heavy equipment out in the field, and I own and raise cattle.
How much cattle do you have, I should say?
So right now it's about 10. It's growing, so it's calving season, and dealing with the weather right now, we've had some losses and we've had some gains. So it fluctuates right now until we get through the calving season. We're hoping for 15, but we'll see where it goes.
Okay, that's awesome. And you do it all by yourself now?
Yes, I do it by myself. So it's been a bit of a learning curve, but it's working.
How long have you been a farmer?
Like I said, I grew up on a farm family, and then I used to raise a different breed of cattle and got away from it. And then for 2 years now, I've been back in the industry raising cattle and building a breeding herd, so to speak, for the beef industry side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your love life, your story about where you are and who you are today.
Okay. So I'm just typical blue collar guy. And you had said that there's a lot of, I guess, guys that won't come on or speak about their side of the story, and I'm not afraid to do that.
Oh, well, thank you.
I think, in divorce, it's a bad deal, no matter how you look at it, whether there's kids involved or, seeing it from the female perspective, the male perspective, but this is my side of it. Turned around, I got married pretty young.
How did you meet?
I met a girl selling her a toolbox off of a pickup truck on Facebook Marketplace. Imagine that.
Oh, my gosh.
We were just talking about Facebook Marketplace.
Yes, we were.
So I had turned around, and that's the first time I'd really met her. And I moved away. I was gone for 2 years, and I had come back, and I just sent a text to all the people that I was kind of friends with in the area. I said, "Hey, I'm back home for the weekend if anybody wants to hang out." And she sent me a message and said, "Hey, I'm on a date at this place. You're welcome to come up and have a drink." And I ended up kind of ruining the date.
Oh,
But,
my gosh. Did you arrive in the middle of the date?
Yeah, pretty much. And
I think if she sent you a text, she might have been wanting you to come and ruin that date.
I think so.
Yeah.
That was probably the situation. But probably a year after that, we ended up having our first child before we were married, and then turned around, got married, and had a second child. She was a stay-at-home mom. I was, typical guy working, covering bills. That was always a big thing is, how can I work more? What can I take care of? So I wasn't really present a whole lot because I worked on the road.
Okay.
And, it turned into, you're never home. You're not spending enough time. And it's, I've got priorities I have to handle and 2 kids to take care of and you in the house and everything else. or I can spend more time at home and have, less financial freedom to take care of what we need to do. And so it turned into, at the time, supposedly getting a job at a gym to, help counteract that so I could spend more time, but it was really just a game of cheating. And, I found that out later on through emails and everything, but it then turned into a battle with the courts over the kids and, holding a higher hand with, certain families and connections within the court system, knowing people. So I fought a downhill losing battle. And it sucked. I mean, spending a ton of money on lawyers and thinking I'm doing the right thing, fighting for the kids and what's fair and equal. But it was never a situation of what's fair and equal. It was about, another lawyer on that side saying, ask for everything, take everything, and then you'll get as much as you can. And I just tried to play the honest game and say, no, I just want what's fair and what's best for the kids. But it never really panned out that way.
It's terrible. Oh. And
So-
how old were the kids?
Jake was, I think, 4 or 5 at the time, and Scarlett was 2 or 3. So,
That's so young.
yeah, they were super young. They didn't understand. They spent almost a year before they saw me. And, after that, it turned into, the weekends, the parenting time guidelines, all that good stuff. But it was still a battle back and forth between, last minute change of plans or whether they were excuses or not, who knows. But, it was always a conflict of, my time with the kids and, oh, well, I need them back early or what have you. And, it almost got to the point to where I would just put my phone away on the counter and be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have my phone. I didn't see your message or your text or your 1,800 calls. So,
1,800 calls.
yeah.
Man, that's terrible.
So, I mean, I got past it. I learned, like a lot of guys, accepting child support as a bill. I mean, I think in a perfect world, everybody sits there and expects for that money to go towards the kids, whether it be clothes or food or even, paying regular bills like a light bill or a heat bill or whatever. You would expect, that money to be used, not a brand new Denali. But, in a situation where your kids are showing up in rags after you're buying them brand new clothes that never come back, it's just like a double-edged sword where you're sitting there watching like I'm pouring all this money out and none of it's going to them. So I guess that's a perspective maybe a lot of guys have is, if there wasn't such a thing as child support and they pushed the 50-50 initiative, I don't think there would be near the divorce rate or at least, the battles in court that you see today.
Sure. So you were pushing for the 50-50.
Absolutely.
She wanted full.
She wanted
that what
full
I understand?
custody. I guess you could call it physical and, took all the tax breaks every year, the write-offs for whatever that is. And,
So she got to claim the kids every single year and you didn't?
yeah, claims the kids every single year, full custody, full decision-making, all that good stuff. So I had parenting time guidelines until she turned around and she jumped state, pulled the kids out of school, sold her house, and took off to Alaska. And then from Alaska, I think she's in Arizona now and just keeps moving around. But I don't expect her to come back anytime soon.
Do you get to see your kids?
No,
Do you talk to them?
no.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's terrible. The first time we had connected and he told me the story, I was like, I just started crying for him. I was like,
Yeah.
I was kind of speechless on the phone. So I was like, holy
I don't
cow.
even know how that's even possible, like that she could do something like that.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you want to share this or not, if you you want to be as vague as possible, but from what I understand, it's also about who you know and it's the powers of be
But that's not
sometimes who, oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
100%.
It's one of
It's
those
terrible.
battles where you can turn around and you can throw $10,000-$20,000 away and know that you're doing it instantly for no good reason because nothing's going to come of it, and everything gets pushed aside, pushed back. Nothing happens. I mean, technically there's legalities to it as far as notifying the other parent if you're
Right.
leaving state or
Yes.
even on a vacation or anything. But to just up and leave and then pull them from school and everything, like, there's concerns about education for the kids and, what that's going to do for their future and, living without their dad, I'm sure they have 1,000 questions just like I do. But, you finally come to the understanding, like, when they're old enough to figure out what's going on and, dad wasn't everything mom said, I'll be sitting here with the proof
Yeah.
to tell them what that is.
How old are they now?
Jake is, January 6th, he'll be 13. And then July 6th, Scarlett will be 11.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, did you even see this coming at all? As far as, I mean, you had mentioned that she was working at a gym and that you caught with the affair, you caught all that on.
Right.
Did you see like this divorce up and coming? Did you file? Did she file?
So she filed for divorce. But what happened is I turned around, I was working in Chicago, and I had worked from, I think it was somewhere around noon that first day until 6 or 7 in the morning is when I got home. We worked all night and then drove back from Chicago. And I specifically told her, I said, hey, Jake and I are going to do a guy's day. Leave Jake here. If you would, take Scarlett, and then I'll do a daddy-daughter date with her another day. But we're going to do a man day, and that was Cabela's or going to get pizza or going to test drive a truck or do whatever, race go-karts. We'd go have a guy's day. And she said, oh, no, I'll take him. And I turned around and woke up, and they never came back. She had took off with him, so.
That's terrible.
Yeah. No inclination, no, I was dead tired from work, all night long and then driving home from Chicago. So there was no way I knew what was going on. I remember saying, hey, just leave him here. I'll get up here and we'll go do something. So.
And then you got home and then everybody was gone.
Yeah. When I had woke up, I turned around, they were gone. And that night, I was calling around like, hey, I'm worried. There's no, inkling of something wrong. Like, did they get in a car accident? Calling hospitals, everything. And then finally I got a hold of her dad, and he said, yeah. He said, I talked to her. She said she's not coming back. And so at that point, she had turned around and took off to her mom's. And, I guess a week later, maybe something like that, filed for divorce.
So her parents were kind of in on this too.
Yeah.
And no, like, how long did it go from the time that you found out they were missing to the time that her dad called you and told you?
It was, around 11
remember?
o'clock in the morning
Okay.
when I started calling because I was going to turn around and go pick him up. And maybe 6, 7 o'clock at night is when I finally got a hold of him. And, like anybody, kind of having a freak out, like, where are they at? What happened?
Right.
What, like, if they're in the hospital, like, is everybody okay? Like, did they
Do you
get in a
call
car?
the police?
Yeah,
Like,
did they get in a car accident? Did, something happen at work? Like, what was it? And trying to get to the bottom of it. And that's how I found out.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's just heartbreaking.
So I'm sure that there's a lot of guys with a lot of similar stories to that.
Yeah. Did she have, I don't know, like, what do you think was running through her mind in all of this? Was she just like, I want to keep having affairs. I want to keep my freedom. What do you think she was thinking in all this?
Yeah, looking back, I would say if you look at the family, both her mom and dad were divorced multiple times and, kind of ran through people, so to speak. And I think it was seen firsthand from her and inherited. And I think it was, a chase for money to where, they want them home all the time to spend the time, but they also want the income without that time being put in. So, blue collar, you got to work to make it happen, to pay the bills and to grow things, especially taking care of a family. And I think that's not what she wanted.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But she wanted the Denali.
Yeah, she turned around and she got that afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So,
how did you get through all of that?
well, honestly, I drank a lot. I turn around, I think a lot of guys do it. I mean, women do it too, but yeah, it was, stopping at the bar after work or, having a case of beer in the garage and buddies stopping over. And initially I just thought it was, hanging out with the guys and, we'd get over it and have a bonfire on the weekend or go fishing or, whatever we were doing. But it always involved that drinking factor. And, I guess it was something that I learned to use to numb it and to not think about, what's going on in my everyday life and how am I going to handle this and how am I going to move forward. I just got stuck for a long period of time to where I would go do the normal activities I like to do, but it involved drinking all the time to numb that. And firsthand, it's not the right way to do it. Like sometimes that may sound easier and you may do it for a short period of time, but you're better off to move on, to deal with it, to handle the hard shit first, and then move past it.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a lot of people who go to the alcohol
Yeah.
with the expense of their liver. Like they'll numb that pain
Exactly.
day in and day out, and it's just one of those things to help people keep going. Just for I don't want to say forget that it's happening, but yeah, just numb everything.
Yeah, it numbs it to the point to where you don't think about it, or when
Yeah.
you do think about it, maybe it just doesn't hurt that bad.
Right.
How long did you go doing that?
I'd say probably a solid 2 or 3 years.
Mm.
Yeah. So talk about damage to your liver. Like
Right.
I think I'm pro at that.
Well, you recently said you gave up drinking. Is that right?
I did. So
or
you
took
know,
up sabbatical at least?
well,
I don't know.
I really, honestly, at first I was like, all right, I want to make sure that this doesn't have a hold on my life. And I turn around and I realized like 2 and 3 weeks after I quit, like the clarity that I had. And, I thought, well, maybe if I quit drinking, like things will get better for me and I'll see more positive changes physically and mentally. Yeah. There's a lot of positive changes, but it also makes it to where that numbing factor is gone. So you have to deal with what is going on inside your head.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily easy. So
No,
you
it's
have to
not.
find different outlets. May it be the gym or, this past Christmas, turn around, had some rough stuff happen this last Christmas. So I split firewood till like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
it turned around and it's better than picking up a bottle. So finding a way to deal with it.
Okay, so you went 2 years of dealing with it, and then you just decided to stop and move on?
Yeah, after this last divorce, I decided that, is this a problem that I have? And, a lot of it stemmed from, missing the kids and trying to, almost isolate myself out in the shop or the barn, thinking like, how can I make this right? How can I not make her pay, but how can I get the kids back into my life and turn around and live a normal life like everybody else? I mean, it may not be perfect, and I didn't want to put my current wife through that. And I think that there was like an emotional separation there that eventually happened, like looking back on it now, to where I was trying to deal with my shit and drinking to where I separated myself and was trying to figure it out. And, that was the wrong idea, like drinking alcohol out in the shop and trying to, go through that. I never figured out a single thing.
So you spent a couple years doing that.
Mhm.
How did you get through, and how do you still get through walking by their bedrooms in your house every day?
And I think I told you a little bit about this, but I still have all their clothes,
Yeah.
their shoes, their toys. There's specifically one of her toys that you'll walk by, it'll randomly say hello, and so that's a bit creepy. But
Yeah.
I've got to the point now to where I know I watch from a distance and I know that they're okay, but I'm not necessarily 100% happy with the way that they're being raised and living their life. There's no security, there's no normal, there's no sense of home or anything like that. But I've just gotten to the point to where I know that eventually they're going to want to know.
Okay.
They're going to come around. They want to know the truth. They want to know who dad is. And they have, from a young age, that ideology of who I am. So, I've gotten to the point to where I can't sit there and hang on to clothes and, certain items that, they're never going to get a use out of. And, talked a little bit about, selling all this stuff. I mean, it's Ariat, it's Cinch, it's, some of these fancy little girls' dresses. And I'd rather they turn around and go to a family that needs them and kids that don't have versus, trying to make money off of something that was purchased for my kids. So, I finally gotten to that point. It's taken years. I hung on to it thinking, they're going to come back and here's your clothes, what fits. But the reality is none of that stuff's going to fit them anymore. It's just brand new stuff in boxes. So, finally decided to let that go.
Okay. So now we're going to move on. You are trying to move on with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you date? And when did you start to date after all of that happened?
It was, buddies would bring, different girls that were single around.
At
And
these bonfires and
yeah,
everything?
bonfires and fishing. And, it was fun to go out and hang out with people, but I never really wanted any kind of relationship kind of a thing for a good long while. And I turned around and I met my second wife. So with child support, I was self-employed. I had a lot going on, but I picked up a part-time job with Tractor Supply and was using that to pay my child support basically so they could have something to turn around and pull out of a paycheck.
Okay.
And I met my second wife. And for the longest time, I didn't even talk to her. Like I didn't think she was interested. I was busy doing my own thing. And we turned around and ended up going on a job that I needed help with. And she said, yeah, I'll help you. And then, from then we were inseparable. We became best friends. And, there was a situation where her family didn't really approve since I wasn't of a certain religion. And so for 2 years, they didn't speak to her or myself. And we ended up getting married without their approval, without their blessing, so to speak. And they spent the rest of their time, eventually welcomed both of us back into the family. And, with the ulterior motive of either converting me to Catholicism or pulling her away from the marriage. And it took a couple years, but they accomplished that.
Okay, so then how long were you guys dating before you got married?
We were dating for a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay. And it was just like a spur of the moment, like, hey, let's go do this? Or did you guys actually do the whole formal proposal and then plan a wedding? Just the two of you or your side of the family? Or what was that like?
So it was, we actually went to the courthouse and got married because of her side of the family not, accepting any of it because of Catholicism. Okay. And I refused to do the classes and go through and have it blessed in the Catholic Church. So we decided to go ahead and do it at the courthouse. And we had planned to do a destination wedding, Western themed, whatever, and invite them after a period of time, that we were getting along and they were accepting me, so to speak. And it never happened because they kept pushing for, it needs to happen in the Catholic Church. And I kept saying, no.
I don't blame you. My gosh. So you guys were married how long?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be January 31st would have been 3.
Okay. Was she working full time
Yeah.
at this place?
Yeah. I turned around. I got her the job.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So it's not like she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and wanted you to go do everything?
No. We worked, the farm together, built quite a bit of it, hand in hand together. And, that's been part of the learning curve is, now, this is my dream, but I'm building it by myself. And I've had to become okay with that. And it's really, through going through this again, as soon as it happened, I got the divorce papers. I'm like, I never saw myself going through this again. I never saw a
Sure.
divorce, coming up in my world again. I thought I had learned the first time.
Sure.
And, here we are, smack dab hit again.
Just so crazy. So was she having an affair or anything? Do you know?
There's a lot of hearsay. I have, some friends that are out and about that have information. She's been seen with different guys and, going through phone records after the fact. I trusted her.
Sure.
And after the fact, going through the phone calls and the texts and, some of the location pings, like, yeah, she wasn't telling the truth as to what she was actually doing. So, and at the time it was harvest, so I was in a combine 14, 16
were
hours
busy.
a day. So,
Yeah.
it was back to, I was working all the time trying to build this
Yeah.
and, had the faith that they were going to be loyal and they were there for the same reason. And, it seems like when shit gets hard, that's when, whether it's the guy or the girl, somebody ends up walking away. And, my motto has always been, I never quit because I don't know how. And so I keep moving forward.
So I'm assuming you didn't see this coming.
Not at all, no. I turned around and I got a text message on my phone that morning when I was getting to the combine. And I looked at my phone and read it, and I'm like, that is not right. So I read it again. I'm like, all right, this is bad. I don't know what's going on. Jump in the truck, and I'm like 5 minutes down the road, and I see my F-350 full of stuff in the bed, and her brother behind her in a pickup truck leaving the house. And so I pull up my cameras on the house and the barns and everything, and she had disconnected the Wi-Fi, so none of the cameras worked, so they could load up everything in the house that they wanted and take off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What did it say in the text message?
I've decided to get a divorce. I'll be praying for you.
Are you kidding me?
No, so
I'll be praying for you.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Like, how about giving my truck back?
yeah, exactly. So I raise cattle, and you leave me with a Volkswagen Golf.
At least it wasn't a Prius.
Yeah, so I mean it was pretty close,
Oh my
but
gosh.
turn around, had to go buy a truck. I mean,
You didn't
gotta
get your
be-
truck back?
No, she took the truck, gooseneck hitch, everything I had in the truck, all that stuff.
And everything you use on a daily basis for the farm. The,
Yeah.
thing, the truck that you needed.
Yep.
That was a jab.
Yeah.
That was a total jab.
So, you know,
Oh my gosh. So did you ever hang out with her side of the family? Were they welcoming during the holidays or anything?
no, I actually, like, during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that, they would sit at a table and, they'd all converse and talk about whatever was going on in their daily lives. And I feel like maybe she felt excluded to a point too, just because she was with me and, I wasn't accepted because of everybody in the family's Catholic but me. And so I would sit at the end of the island and, her mom would usually come down and be like, oh, we're so glad you're here and you're so welcome to be part of this family. And it's like you're sitting here lying to my face. Like, I know what this is and how you're acting, but,
Was it all a ploy to try to get you to convert?
maybe so. I just put a smile on my face and I gave her a timeline, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and like that's all I can take. Like, we got to go home. But I put on a smile, I put on a face for her.
Sure.
That was her family, and I was just trying to keep the peace with it. So
Of course. Now, did you guys ever talk about having kids?
yeah. The having kids came up. It was something that I guess originally she didn't want.
Where
and
were
then-
you at that time mentally, though? Do you think you would have been ready?
I think we were on the same page when we got married. Like, we had planned, buying a farm and building this back up. And we have a 3-bedroom house, and so there was rooms and everything, and we had planned to have kids, but it kept getting pushed back. And after we get the remodel on the inside done, then we'll turn around and have kids. Or, after you quit smoking, then we'll have kids, and it has to be so long. And for a while I was like, all right, health reasons and making sure that the house is ready and all that, that makes sense. Like, you want to be prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it turned into like, no, these are all excuses. Like, what's the real reason behind it? And I guess sometimes you turn a blind eye when you shouldn't. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
How long were you guys married?
2.5 years. It'll be 3 years, or would have been 3 years at the end of January.
Oh.
Yep.
Is your divorce final?
It got
Or are you
pushed
still
back.
going?
We turn around and there's a little bit of an argument over property.
Mm,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Over property.
Yeah,
I'm
well-
so sorry.
Right. It's terrible.
But she's not coming after my cows. Apparently, that's too much work.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just over real estate. But
Oh my gosh.
For being married for 2 years.
mhm.
Which is interesting because
Oh,
Indiana is considered
man.
short term, shorter than 5. So
Yeah.
technically and legally, and this is what actually based upon my experience as well, if it's under 5, you go home with what you brought in. So I don't know what she brought in, but she took your truck.
Well,
Was
yeah,
that truck in her name or yours?
both of our names.
Was it?
Yeah. So I traded in my F-350 that I had
Uh huh.
on that truck. And so there's like a $10,000, whatever. And then, paying the payments on that truck and the insurance and upkeep, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, she took it and then she turned around, the lawyer turned around, I don't know, it was like a month later and she wants to sell the truck to get something more fuel efficient. You mean like a Volkswagen Golf?
Did you say we'll just trade?
Yeah, I said, like a Volkswagen, like, she should have took the car that she's been driving for 8 months. And no, she just wanted to take the truck. Apparently you look cooler if you drive an F-350.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but that was a jab. Like that was.
You
that's
ever
not a
tried to hook a
typical
gooseneck livestock trailer to a Volkswagen? It just doesn't work.
No, I have never tried.
Yeah.
I
So,
have hauled a boat and an F-350, but I have never done anything with a Volkswagen.
yeah, I don't recommend it.
No, I can't. I can't.
So, yeah, I mean, it's been kind of a whirlwind and getting used to things, like doing laundry and dishes. Like sometimes it was done, sometimes I would help, but now it's all my responsibility, like handling everything in the house, all the animals, inside, outside. And it used to be like outside's my deal, inside's your deal. And if you need help, I'll help you. If I need help, like go back and forth. And now it's just like the dogs follow me around, but they're not much help.
Unfortunately, they'll lick your plates.
Yeah, they're really good at cleaning
Oh,
plates.
gosh.
But,
Your dishes will be clean.
Right.
Don't eat at Sam's house.
but yeah,
Dixie plates. You know what? You off of paper plates a
paper
lot.
plates, yeah,
There you
burnable. Hmm.
That kind of helps with the dishes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you're still battling that, unfortunately. Do you have any idea of how much more time you have? When is the next court date scheduled?
I believe it's January 8th we're done.
So, as in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty much
gotta be
everything.
okay.
I think everything's finally hashed out to where we can sign papers. She can take her name back and live
Okay.
whatever. And I'm, building my farm. So,
Good. Do you think she'll go to a mediation and just sign the papers there?
she didn't want to do any kind of, court date meeting. They sent an agreement out basically saying, here, we want everything. And, we won't have to go to court. You just sign this paper. And within 2 minutes, I sent an email back that said, no, we're not going to agree to that.
Okay.
So, if we go in front of a judge and sign papers or mediation, whatever, but, I'm fine with either way. Like, she wants to go and lead whatever Catholic life or be with whoever, like, that's what you want to do. Like, why am I going to sit here? I tried to offer up, marriage counseling and, how do we make this work? Why are you just trying to just run away, give up? Like, but, yeah.
Did you try marriage counseling in the first marriage out of curiosity?
No.
No? Okay. So this is one thing that you were definitely
Yeah,
willing
so-
to do for this
Yeah,
one.
I was turning around and, let's see if we can work this out. Like, I don't ever think it's a good thing to get a divorce. I mean, you got married for a reason. Like, you guys have been both divorced. Like, you look back, like, at one point, that was your person that you were all about. I mean, and then you
Yeah,
turn
you're
around
right.
and you all of a sudden hate him. But it's hard to kind of sit back and look back to the day that, like, you met and how much you cared about him. And then, you build a family and all of a sudden that's gone. Like, it still doesn't mean those memories aren't there. It still doesn't mean it didn't happen. You just got to deal with it and move forward.
True. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's a commitment, it's work, but it's a promise. It's a promise to the other person. It's a promise to God that you are reuniting with someone. And I'm totally with you. It's like, I don't believe in divorce as far as it's like, oh, let's just go get one. I mean, it's like there's a time and a place. I completely understand there's necessities in certain situations, Miss
Yeah.
Angela. I totally understand and support all that. But just because it didn't work, or just the mere fact that, for example, your second wife, she's a devout Catholic. She knew you were not,
Yeah.
and she was already willing to leave her family to go be with you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like,
And that's how it should be, technically. I mean, you're
Yes.
supposed to leave your family when you get married and bond with that person.
yes,
And-
you are two are one now.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I guess I could say with any situation, when you invite other people, whether it's your friends or even your parents or your family, your siblings, and you invite them into your marriage, so to speak, as far as having an opinion or a say, I don't think it ever works out good.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told the dogs and the cattle a lot, but I mean, they don't say much. So,
It must feel good though to still kind of vent out a little bit.
well,
huh?
yeah, I mean, you got to tell something or somebody. So, I mean, they look like they're listening, but
Dogs are always happy to see you.
yeah, man's best friend.
Yeah. So okay, so you're in this house now.
Yeah, so I've got the farm.
That's-
It's totally torn apart because I'm remodeling every piece of the inside, flooring, walls, taking walls out, adding things. So, and working 65 hours a week plus
Yeah.
the farm. So, yeah, I stay pretty busy. Between that, going to the gym, farming, like it's a whole thing.
Well, I
Like,
saw your story. You had lost a cow who was given birth because it was breached, right? Is that how she passed away?
so, lost the calf.
Well, yeah, you lost the calf. Did you lose the mom too?
So the first one, we didn't lose the cow. We lost a bull calf.
Okay, is that Bullet?
And no, that's not Bullet.
Okay.
We
is someone
lost
else.
we lost the first bull calf. It turns out he was a twin,
Oh.
and so he was really small compared to what they normally should be. They come around 45 pounds or so. This dude was maybe 20 pounds, itty bitty. And originally we thought, well, we didn't get the sack cleaned off of him in time to save him because he was down in a further pasture. And so she's still showing signs of pregnancy. And so she'll either have a stillborn or she'll turn around and she'll give birth to that calf. But we did lose the first one.
Oh, okay.
And then, being single now and able to make my own decisions for the farm and not have to bounce them off of anybody else, I went to an auction and I go to sales and look for more cattle to grow the herd. And that's when I found Bullet, bet on him and win. And, get him, I put him in the truck, hauled him home. It was cold, and put him under a heat lamp, ran heat in the barn, all that. And turn around, and I kept him alive and had him going in the right direction. He got scours, which is a thing that calves can get. He was a bottle calf, and turn around, and Christmas morning at 12:30 in the morning is when I lost that calf.
Oh my gosh.
And it was devastating to turn around, and like I had this mindset, like if I can save him, like everything bad that's happened this year, so be it.
Right.
But I turn around, I got this calf. He lost his mom, and he may or may not have got colostrum, so I gave him the supplement anyhow. And he was going in the right direction, and then he turned around and pneumonia ran its course, and within 2 hours he went down, and went out at 12:30, and he was gone. So I spent Christmas morning burying a calf that I swore, 2025, like it's not going to end all bad. And so yeah. Turn around and doing that. It's sometimes you have to shrug your shoulders and say, you know what, like I'll keep rolling with the punches. Like you knock me down, I'll get back up.
And that sounds like that's what you've been doing.
Yeah,
This whole
you
time.
have to. You got two choices. You can sit there and you can wallow in how sad and shitty it all is,
Yeah.
or you can stand up and say, no, this is what I want for my life, and this is the direction I'm going to go. And yeah, you might not get knocked down along the way, but just stand back up, keep going.
So, in being a farmer, it kind of gives you somewhat of an excuse to live every single day as if it is an ordinary day, especially on the holidays. So, like harvest season, right? And
Yeah.
Things that you had to do on the farm on Christmas, unfortunately, with the burial. So, how do you still get through the holidays with the experiences that you have had, the kids that you don't get to see?
There's a lot of times where, I spend my mornings doing my devotions, and I will sit and drink coffee and look out the window at the pasture. And, sometimes there's deer out there or whatever, which I love to deer hunt. But
You go grab your gun.
No, season's over. But really, honestly, the only thing that I found is you have to let that go and give it to God, because if you don't, it will consume you, and then you'll find reasons and ways to cope. Like the best coping mechanism that I have found is the gym, and sometimes it's a half an hour, sometimes it's an hour and a half. It just depends what's going on in your head, and then you come back with a little bit of clarity. And sometimes there's stuff to deal with at home, sometimes there's not, but it's keeping busy, I would say, really helps. And then eventually you get to a point to where, yeah, it still sucks, but you can deal with it. Like you can sit there and think about it and say, all right, this all happened for a reason. And, if God can turn around and take something away from you that you thought was great, what could he give you that's so much better? So, I guess for me, I'm just sitting and waiting for God's plan, and my plan is moving forward the farm. So, I hope he doesn't change that, but if he does, there's not a lot you can do about it.
Well, yeah, you're about to get a couple horses, and you're getting some more cattle, and maybe expanding your land.
Yeah, trying to expand, trying to grow. 2026, I can't sit here and say, oh, yeah, it's going to be a great year, because I thought that was 2025. But,
Psych.
I'm going to take it as it comes, and I'm going to, keep positive thoughts about it. But I'm really going to push to build what, is my dream. And that's growing a cattle operation to where maybe one day I don't have to go punch a clock somewhere else. I can just sit there and work on my own.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah.
So tell us, what else have you been doing to better yourself? You had mentioned smoking at one point.
Yeah. So
are we done with that
I
too?
didn't know if that was him or if that was her. So was that you?
Well, she originally quit smoking, and then I quit. Once the divorce hit and everything, I held strong for maybe a month, and there was something that tipped me off, and I went and got a pack of cigarettes, and I kind of went backwards there, and I smoked for a long time, and I liked it, so that was kind of a problem. But I decided to quit along with the drinking, and so yeah, not to air all my bad habits, but I still chew tobacco. That keeps me sane, but yeah.
So double down. You doubled down.
Yeah.
You quit both at the same
Yeah.
time.
Well, they kind of go hand in hand. If you have a drink, you want a cigarette, and if you have a cigarette, sometimes you either want a cup of coffee or you want a drink. So, giving up both.
Wow.
It saved a ton of money. I can tell you that
I bet.
for sure.
Okay.
So.
So
Yeah.
then you work out a lot, it sounds like.
Yeah. So depending on my schedule with work, there's not I don't work an 8 to 5. Sometimes we're there at 6 in the morning, sometimes 7, and then sometimes we're out till midnight. It just depends on what's needed and what's going on. But I try to spend at least 4 to 5 days in the gym. And then, I live out in the middle of the country. So there's a big creek with the, woods and everything that you can walk through. And so if I have time, I'll take the dogs for a walk, and just, it's peaceful and quiet, and there's really nobody around. So, just different things like that to where, keep my mind free. I do, I go hike national parks, state parks, just it's a lot of fun. It's a workout more than a lot of people think, especially with a dog. There's places like Turkey Run where you got to pick your dog up and go up and down ladders and, different obstacles. So, doing stuff like that, it helps.
Okay. That's great.
How are
That's
you
good.
feeling going into January? Are you okay?
It
That's
really,
right around the corner.
yeah, it's right around the corner. So anniversary and everything,
Yeah.
I had birthday plans. I had, reservations made for a cabin, and I had all these plans already set up, to be blindsided. And it's about the blatant, I guess, disrespect that it doesn't really bother me. I've learned, you turn around and you've chosen someone else over me, or a life different away from me. So if that's what you want, that's fine. But I'm going to move forward with my life, and it's not going to be, moving on to somebody else or what have you. I'm building a life for myself. And then eventually, if someone wants to find that and join that and truly want it, then man, they're gonna have to work their ass off to prove that
Yeah.
point. But yeah, I'm building my life and moving forward. So it really, honestly, it doesn't affect me. That day, it will just be a day. Maybe I will turn around and do something that I really enjoy doing, and move forward. It's a new year. It's a new start, and don't want to make the same mistake twice, to where you turn around and you put yourself in a situation where it's somebody you don't trust. So sometimes kind of learning the signs, so to speak.
So do you think you're ready to learn more signs? You think you figured that out?
Man, I don't want any more signs or learning curves. Like, they say that God gives his strongest warriors the most battles. Well, man, I'm done being strong. Let me tell you, like I want to be the wimpiest dude out there to turn it like for 20. Like, just let me be the weak dude for a while. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I can totally understand. God's plans are different, though.
yeah, and I mean, you just gotta roll with it. So it's not easy.
No, you're right. But thank God that you have that faith and you have that hope and you have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Without it, like, where would you be right now?
If I didn't, I would probably be in jail with a DUI, dead. I mean, it's hard to say. There's so many people that go through a divorce or lose their kids or go through a situation to where they can't deal with it. And they'll turn to drugs or alcohol or suicide or all these different things that there's no positive outcome to it, to where it just destroys their life more and more. And, luckily I had enough ability to kind of look past it, to see past it, and choose something different.
So one of my last questions I have, and I don't know if you have any on there, but when people are going through their divorces and they're going through these separations and they're going through the dramas that they have, and I've been receiving a lot of compliments, a lot of messages, a lot of questions of people telling me how hurt they were, but also how alone they felt. So you had mentioned your buddies were coming over all the time and even trying to bring and introduce you to single women all the time. Like, did you feel alone yourself, even though that you are a Christian, even though you know about God and him being there in your life? Did you feel alone as well?
In both instances, in both divorces, I guess the first time I was with my buddies all the time, and I was drinking and I was fishing and going on trips, and there was all these people around, and I could be in the room and everybody's laughing and having a good time, and my mind would wander off to the different thoughts, like
Sure.
It was sad and shitty.
Yeah.
This time, being on a farm where it's completely dark and isolated and quiet, and you're sitting on the back porch, I mean, it's peaceful, but it lets you know, like, you're so alone, and there's things that you want to be able. You're used to calling and saying, "Hey, this happened," or "What do you want for dinner?" Like, there's times I miss the argument. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? Like, sometimes it was annoying then. Now I kind of miss it. Like, well, what do I want to eat? And I don't know. So it's an argument with yourself. But yeah, the isolation and being alone, and that's where going to the gym helps. Sometimes, like, having the realization, like, I don't need to sit here by myself, because I'm going to get lost in those thoughts and it's not going to be good. So go somewhere and physically do something. It helps to kind of work out that frustration. And that's the best thing that I've used. Like the holidays, like the gym was closed. So
Oh, yeah, it was awful.
I stayed busy cutting firewood and working on anything and everything I could find, just to not necessarily take my mind off of it, but keep my hands busy and my mind at least thinking about something else for a little bit, to where it wasn't consuming. Because, I mean, holidays are rough for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, not just divorce. But
Of course. Did you ever hang out with your family? Your family's pretty close, right? Not distance-wise,
yeah.
but heart-wise.
yeah, they came up. They're like an hour away. They came up, brought dinner, and stayed for a little bit, and then took off. And other than that, like, I spent the holidays by myself. I mean, the neighbor bugs me quite a bit, so I always have somebody needing something or wanting something. So it's somebody to talk to, I guess. But
Other than the cows.
yeah, human interaction.
Well, kudos to you for working out and doing all that you do. You sound very uplifted, and you sound very positive and future intended and in a healthy place.
Yeah, I am. It's taken a lot to get here, and I can tell you firsthand, like, if I would have kept drinking, this wouldn't be a thing at all.
Neither with the cold plunge, would it?
No. No.
You tried the cold plunge.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow. You are a brave man.
I tell you what, People, you don't know this, but I spent a solid 3 minutes hovering over the tub with my feet picked up, and I finally did it. And then it was a good thing for the sauna afterwards because, man, it was freezing cold.
Oh, wow.
But you admit you felt great.
I had energy of a 12-year-old kid. Like,
Okay.
I was running around Meyer, I think, afterwards. I just didn't know what to do with myself. It was so much energy. So, yeah, it's definitely something that you should try. I recommend that to anybody.
Okay. Are you going to do it again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do all of it, I think,
Good for
except
you.
for, I don't know, the chiropractics thing. I don't want to be
Oh,
broken,
man.
but
Yeah.
It's amazing. It depends on who you go to, of course.
right.
So, but yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. You have such a great outlook. 2026 is going to be awesome.
I'm hoping so.
Yes.
It is going to be awesome
Yes.
for you. I believe that.
Yeah. It'll, they always say is go in with a lion and come out with like a lamb. Is that how that goes?
That's
Well,
seasons.
yeah.
I
a
know, but
season.
it's going to be
And,
kind of the same for you
can-
because you've got your divorce coming up. So like the first couple weeks is probably going to be nerve wracking. Get through that.
Yeah.
And then there you go.
I mean, I think anytime you go into court, if you have to or whatever, like signing the paperwork, but it's over. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know that's where it's at, and I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already moving past they can turn around, and a lot of people do it. They turn around and they cheat or they get with somebody else. Like that's their problem now.
Yeah.
And you
That's
got to
not
look at the
yours.
dude and be like, I admit it sucks to be you because she turned around and left me, which she had everything. Dude, you're screwed, man. Like,
Good luck.
yeah, good luck with that. Hang on to it as long as you can, man. But yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming to share your story.
not a problem.
It's been awesome to hear, and I hope it touches on a lot of people's lives, and it's going to be very inspirational for a lot of people.
Yeah, even the music in the background is inspiring.
It's very festive.
you know.
It is. We got a lot of good comments.
Oh yeah,
John says he's been sober for 6.5 years. It shows him a whole new world compared to before. He's no longer denying and hiding, and he's handling things to move forward, and he's got perseverance.
awesome! Congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt wants to thank you for sharing your story. He knows it's not easy to put yourself out there and be vulnerable. He says he's sorry for what you've been through. The court system is tilted so hard against fathers, especially in Marion County, where his first divorce happened. He said it was pretty brutal.
Aw, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And Amy says you have a good attitude for what you've been going through. She prays for strength and peace for you.
Was that my mom?
It is your mom.
Oh, thanks,
You know
Mom.
what I'm thinking the whole time? I'm like, I know this woman, but I don't know who that is. It's your mother.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh, gosh. She wants to know if you're in a church.
Oh, of course you would.
Yeah. And she says you need to be on again. And then Ryan says massive respect for the vulnerability.
Wow.
Gives you much props.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Kudos to you. Oh, but my mom wants to know if you're at a church.
Yeah, so I go to a church in
Because if not, we got a really good one.
I go to a church in
Nice.
Kokomo called Abundant Life. Pastor Charlie Riley. That's where I'm at for now. It's
Okay.
a bigger church. And I really haven't found, I guess, my avenue to serve. So I work with it's not really a company, but an organization called Farmers and Hunters Feeding the Hungry. And so you can donate deer meat, or if you're a farmer, you can donate a cow or a pig. But it goes to local food banks. And
Wow.
we worked with a lot of churches in Tipton, Howard County, Central Indiana, and I'm becoming more and more involved in that. The hub is out east, and we've had limitations, but trying to find a church that will do more of that outreach, and it's always good to give back. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's
Okay.
cool.
trying to find that niche.
Awesome.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I actually want to talk to you a little bit more about that after we're done here.
Yeah, like meals on us, dinners on us. that you're
Dinner's
talking
on
about.
us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So we do at our church.
Yes.
I like your brain. I like what you're thinking.
I'm over here thinking.
Awesome. Well, if that's it,
Oh, let me just
You
pull
doing
up our
good?
outro. You want to say?
yes, thank you. But if we are about done, what I'd like to do and what we're going to start doing as a routine is we're going to end it in prayer. If you would like to join us, you're welcome to. If not, no pressure. You're welcome to end the session. And we will do the prayer. But I also want to wish everyone a happy new year. Totally forgot already that it was the end of December. I'm like, oh yeah, New Year's. That's this week, Thursday.
I think so. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just all blur.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't stay up for it anyway. So, but yeah, happy New Year, everybody.
Happy
Stay
New Year.
safe out there, whatever you guys decide to do. And yeah, we'll close in prayer real quick and then we'll end the session. So, thank you guys so much for attending. If you wish to stay included in the prayer, you're welcome to. If not, go make it matter and enjoy the rest of your year and enjoy your New Year's.
Great. All right, Lord, we are so thankful for all of the viewers that we have established over these last few weeks, that there are other people out there that are in the same walk of life, and that we can just show them that we can go from broken to healed and bonded together. And we just pray that during this season of where families are coming together and there's a lot of loneliness in this world, that they are finding people that they can come together with, that they can share a meal with, that they can just celebrate with, that whatever loneliness they're feeling, Lord, that they are not bonded by that. They're not held down by that, that when they are feeling lonely, they're not turning to someone or something. We just hope that they find you. Lord, we want to pray a special prayer over Sam as he's preparing to go to court next month. Lord, we just are so encouraged by his story. And we're so encouraged by the positive attitude that he has going into this. We just pray that that everything will be settled, that they can just walk in there and sign their papers, and that everything will be just a done deal. And that when he walks out of that courthouse, he has a new light. It is 2026, and there are good things on the horizon for this man. And most importantly, he's looking towards you for his guidance. So anytime we're looking towards you, we know that your plan is about to unfold. We pray a special blessing over everyone that is listening over this 2026 season, and we look forward to the new things that you have in store for Club Divorcee. We just want to thank everyone for joining us on our program. Amen.
Amen.